So realizing the path of an athlete is a lot of commitment and a lot of personal time that you lose out on as well. But again, I couldn't blame anyone else. I don't believe in blame. I had to accept it because I chose that journey.
Yeah.
So it wasn't till after, when I had finished and I allowed myself to recover, I fell in a heap after my comps. That was 2.5 years of dedicating my life to bodybuilding that my body just crumbled.
Hey guys, welcome to the Happy Way podcast, your go-to place for all things fun, happiness, well-being, growth, trust, and diversity. I am your host, Melissa Fideli, and I am here to inspire and connect everyone who chooses health and happiness so you can be your healthiest self and live life the happy way. Welcome back, everyone. Today we are talking all things confidence and how to constantly show up for yourself even when you feel like nothing is going your way. It can be so hard to navigate through the constant changes of life, and with the state of the world, it can be quite overwhelming to put yourself first. But today we have health and fitness coach Bridget Bennet, who has created the Powerful Woman System to give us some tips and wisdom on how to restore confidence and maximize your potential. Welcome, Bridget.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm so excited to have you here today. This is a topic that I also really love to talk about. So I'm sure that you're going to have some really great nuggets of wisdom that so many women can benefit from. So tell us a little bit about you, your journey, what you do, and why helping women regain their confidence is so important to you.
Well, I've always been a fit and healthy person.
Yeah.
I came from a childhood of a lot of activity and sport. I was a dancer for 10 years.
Wow.
And then I dabbled in a few different sports. But then when I got to my teenage years, I found the passion for fitness in terms of going to the gym.
Yep.
And then after that, for about a couple of years, I was in and out of the gym, finding what really suited me. And I realized that this was a huge passion of mine, that I really wanted to, can I make money off of this?
Yeah.
And then I decided to go down the road of personal training.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I was doing that, I was probably in that personal training world for several years. And then I decided, okay, I'm really enjoying this. I love it. Where can I go from here? And then I found the love for bodybuilding.
Okay.
And so probably it was about 2.5 years that I decided to put myself into that world because I really wanted to challenge myself.
And what a big challenge that is.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I probably didn't realize how big a challenge it was until I was right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
However, when I decided to do that, I was just like, well, this will challenge me. It could be a new possible career path for me as well and open up so many more platforms for myself. And so I was like, why not? Let's do it.
Good on you.
So thank you. And so when I was, going on my first year of bodybuilding, I was quite surprised at how successful I really was. I was doing it for the fun. It actually connected quite well to my past dancing path because that was me being able to express myself on stage, the performing side of things, and then my new career of health and fitness. So putting those two together, it was so exciting and such an incredible journey. And like I said before, then not realizing how successful I would be, I then, wanted to push that further. And so I competed in the state titles, the national titles, and then the world titles.
Wow.
And that just blew me away that I could.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
insane.
It was surreal.
Yeah.
That is probably the best way to describe it.
Wow.
And so after the world titles, I actually won a few of my divisions and became a professional athlete, which was actually like my 5-year goal.
Wow.
And so I had completed that in 12 months.
Wow.
And I was 21 at that time. And I was like, holy heck, this is
insane.
surreal. What do I do?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is a journey I chose to do. So then I was like, all right, I'm going to commit the next year to competing as a professional athlete, living the life as an athlete and seeing where that brings me. And so I went on to compete nationally and then at the Worlds again. And that's when I that's when I felt and understood the extremities of that sport per se, because I didn't realize, or I knew, given I had some fitness and health background, what was expected of me. But then the mental side of it that came with it and the change and the lifestyle that I had to pursue was just crazy, you know.
So what are a few of those things that you had to do that were different?
Well, a lot of it comes down to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, it's tunnel vision. I wanted to really, you know, give it a red hot go and see how far I could take it.
Yeah.
I'm not someone that, you know,
half-asses anything.
So I go full throttle. So that was where I knew I had to commit to it.
Yep.
But I didn't realize how my lifestyle was going to actually play around that.
Yeah.
And so sacrifice is obviously one, tunnel vision. So just time with my partner. Like my world was just revolved around training and nutrition. And if you think about it, I was training 14 times a week.
How?
We don't have that many days in the week,
How
right?
did you do that?
I was training probably 3 hours plus a day.
What?
Yeah. That was what
insane.
my body needed because I was still very healthy about it. I didn't go to extremes, and that's why I had a beautiful coach to guide me along the way, that we didn't want to go to extremes with my nutrition.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep healthy. I wanted to keep my cycle.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay as in control as possible.
Yeah.
So that just meant an extreme output for me. Then a lot of focus on recovery and a lot of time and sacrifice again. So realizing the path of an athlete is a lot of commitment and a lot of personal time that you lose out on as well. But again, I couldn't blame anyone else. I don't believe in blame. I had to accept it because I had chose that journey. Yeah. So it wasn't till after, when I had finished and I allowed myself to recover, I fell in a heap after my comps. That was 2.5 years of dedicating my life to bodybuilding, that my body just crumbled. My health crumbled. I started to see a naturopath. I started to see a psychologist, a couple in the fact actually. And I had to really find, okay, what does my lifestyle look like without bodybuilding?
Yeah, that would have been a very different reality check for you. You know, like you said, you'd sacrificed so much time, committed so much time and energy to that, and then stopping, it's like, what's my identity now?
Yeah. And you're spot on with that.
Yeah.
I was lost.
Yeah.
I didn't know what my identity was and I didn't know what my purpose was.
Yeah.
And my coach actually, he was so supportive through this point. He was like, Bridge, what is your purpose? He's like, that is why you are so lost, because you've focused tunnel vision for so long on this one goal that is now not a part of your life now, because you're trying to, you know, regain some love for yourself, regain some lifestyle, and bringing back those things that I had to sacrifice. And so in the midst of that, I had lost my identity. And that's where my struggle really started to begin, because I'll be honest, 8 to 10 months, I didn't step foot in a gym afterwards.
Wow.
And from someone that's spending 3 to 4 hours a day in a gym and then working, so I'm spending about 14 hours in a gym a day.
Wow.
None of that was actually training myself, because I couldn't bring myself to do it. And that's where that loss of self-identity, I was embarrassed about my body coming out of, you know, being in a lean state. And I know you can't maintain that.
Yeah.
And I was well aware. And I think that was the tough point, is because I'm quite aware.
Yeah.
You still don't know how it's going to feel when it happens. And so that loss of identity made me feel embarrassed to be in a gym.
Yeah.
I was like, who are you? The Bridget Bennet, the bikini pro. Who are you to be in a gym when you've gained weight? Yeah. I had gained about 20 kilos after. And that might seem extreme to some people, but if I break it down, I was, you know, only probably 10 or 5 kilos overweight for what I was used to. But because of the extremities you go to within bodybuilding, seeing to where I was then was just mind-baffling.
Wow.
So I lost all forms of self-worth and self-identity. Yeah. Because who was I to be that, in my mind, overweight coach? You don't deserve to be in a gym. You don't deserve to be training here and working on your health. Yeah. That was the limiting belief that was going on in my mind. And so that's when I got to a low point. I was like, enough is enough. I've got to find some way to grow from here, because being where I am is not good enough, and it's actually deteriorating my mental health.
Yeah, it's not serving you. Yeah.
Not at all.
No.
I was, you know, pinned down by chronic panic attacks. Yeah. Because I was that embarrassed about my self-identity.
Wow.
So that's looking back now, like I'm immensely proud of the journey I did take, but I had to first commit and have the courage to commit to the hard work because, you know, I had to learn how to step foot in a gym again and feel comfortable in my skin and know that my self-worth is not put upon labels.
No.
And that was the tough in the society, you know, we're in, social media, as well as the fitness industry.
When you've presented yourself in a way for such a long period of time, it's daunting to then be like, this is a new me, guys. Like I could only imagine that would have been tough.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And to change, you know, shift from, okay, I'm Bridget Bennet, the bodybuilder and bodybuilder coach, to, no, I want to focus on my lifestyle, my own health, you know, actually take a step back and focus on me and my health and my family.
Yeah.
Because for so long, that wasn't my main focus.
No.
And it's surprising how much the bodybuilding industry, might be the fitness industry, sometimes isn't all that healthy for us.
Yeah. And I feel like social media would have played a huge role in that, you know, that pressure from being someone on social media, but then not feeling like you can chop and change and adapt and grow because, well, I might be criticized or I might be bullied or I might be shamed or, you know, there is that pressure in the back of your mind. I think you go through presenting yourself and being someone and then, I guess social media would have played a role in that as well for you.
Yeah, that's it. I took a huge break from social media. Like that's one of my main form of business marketing platforms. And so I had to take a step back. It was a toxic environment for me.
Yeah.
But because of the standards I placed upon myself and the pressure I placed upon myself, but also my fear of judgment.
Yep.
Because I've changed, you know, lifestyles and I've changed labels per se.
Yeah.
And I was scared.
Yeah, of course. And I think it takes a lot of courage to take a step back and be like, you know what, this isn't serving me. I'm going to take a step back and focus on me and not people please and not put myself out there because that's something we feel like we need to do. And especially when you have a business and, you know, you're your business and you're marketing yourself and, you know, it's so normal to go through different periods in life where we just don't feel like us. Yeah. And it's okay to take a step back from the socials, take a step back from, you know, sharing your whole life and just do you for a little bit. Give yourself a bit of love and care and confidence and nothing wrong with that. So good on you for actually doing that. Now, from your perspective, how do you start to build on your confidence and how does nutrition and fitness support this? Obviously, you've had such a big journey with different approaches to health and wellness and you know, what you did for your body in the gym and outside of the gym. And, you know, how do you grow? How do you gain that confidence back after, you know, life after bodybuilding? How do you do that?
Look, there's probably 1,000,001 different answers that would go to this. But the thing for me and my experience with it was, again, having that courage to do that hard work. Figure out, okay, why am I feeling this way and what are these beliefs or that I think that are built within my subconscious that are coming up? Yeah. Because those limitations obviously holding me back from growing, from having that confidence I needed or I wanted. And so I had to figure out, okay, if, you know, what does confidence feel like to me? Because at the end of the day, we know we can inspire or aspire to have, you know, materialistic things or aspire to have a certain type of body. You know, I could have, after that 20-kilo weight gain, I could have been like, okay, now back on the training, back on the nutrition. Let's, you know, go. Let's do the standard weight loss protocol. Yeah. I mentally couldn't do that. That was traumatizing for me. So I had to learn and seek out different tools and techniques that would actually support my mental health when trying to grow. Yeah. And a lot of that came from self-awareness and understanding, okay, how do I want to feel? Not what do I want to look like? Yeah. Not what do I want to obtain? What do I want to be seen as? How do I want to feel?
Yeah. So getting rid of all those materialistic aspects and just focusing on you and your core values and your core beliefs and growing outwards from there.
100%.
Yeah.
And I've had plenty of coaches that have helped me along that way as well, which has been tremendous for my journey. And that's what it came down to. What are my core values? My top two are respect and authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how can I respect my body, feel the way I want to feel, and how can I be authentic in doing so? Because I knew that although, yes, social media had a huge play in my worthy or my worthlessness, how can I actually turn that around? Because I still want to utilize that for my business. How do I become the happy, peaceful, confident me without not being authentic when I come across on social media? And so I wanted to be able to step into that.
And I think this is a good lesson for everyone, that you can change at any point in life. You can stop and be like, you know what, this isn't me anymore. It's time to change. And you can adapt and you can grow at any point. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just coming back to, you know, if what I did 7 months ago is no longer serving me, it's okay for me to take a different path and restructure my life and do things differently. You know, I think we all kind of get stuck because we make ourselves stuck.
Yeah.
We put ourselves in, this is my identity and this is how it has to be. Whereas, no, if you wake up one morning and think, you know what, I think I'm going to do something completely different today and you know, I feel like this is right for me, then go ahead. There is no one stopping us. I think we limit ourselves to what we can do and how much we can actually change and grow and develop every day.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're completely right.
Yeah.
We have the ability to create our own life, our own destiny. So why does one chapter have to then control the other chapters?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter if chapter 7 is complete 180 flip to chapter 8.
Yeah.
As long as we are staying within our values and our beliefs and what will support our dreams, then if you have to change and take a completely different route, then go for it.
And I think one thing to take from your experience is that, you know, you achieved so much when you were bodybuilding, and that was a goal that you had, and that was a long-term goal, and you achieved that. And then you came away from that and your life was different. But no one's ever going to be able to take away all that hard work and the commitment and everything you did and achieved in that time. And that's something that instead of looking back on and thinking, oh gosh, I'm different now, being, wow, I was different then. And I was different in a completely opposite way than I am now. And that's okay. And I'm so proud of myself. And yeah, so you've come so far, which is amazing. So you speak about being self-aware. So I think that all women can really benefit from becoming more self-aware and reclaiming their power to live life on their own terms. And, you know, you're a huge advocate for that because it's served you so well in your life and in your journey. How would you describe self-awareness and how do we actually build on it?
Well, I think self-awareness is, to a certain point, self-explanatory in the terms of becoming aware of you and your surroundings and how you react to your surroundings as well.
Yeah.
And with self-awareness, we can start to really dig deep because, you know, we can have the surface level of goals we want to aspire to. But again, what I was aiming for was, okay, how do I want to feel?
Yeah.
So I had to then understand, okay, to be self-aware of how I want to feel, how do I feel now and how can I change that? So self-awareness is understanding my emotions, understanding how I react to emotions, how that then corresponds to my values. Is the way I'm living my life equal that to of my values?
Yeah.
And being aware of, okay, what road is not working for me? What road can I take that will align all of that together?
Yeah.
And it has taken me several years to build upon those tools and those techniques to become more self-aware.
Yeah.
But when it comes to health and fitness as well, it was taking more of an intuitive approach.
Yeah.
Because I had for so long been an athlete. And that's not everyone.
No.
You know, that was a choice of mine. But to be a coach who wants to be able to resonate and help everyone, then we had to strip it back.
Yeah.
And so that's where having an intuitive approach, starting to actually understand, okay, for instance, take nutrition for instance, what are my my eating habits.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's what I teach a lot of women as well. Okay, when it comes to your eating, like if you're leaning towards emotional eating, why?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? So that's where and you can take any subject of your life and actually, you know, break it down and become more self-aware with that. Fitness, for instance, you know, as much as I loved training in the gym, you know, 6 days a week, did that make me happy anymore? No. I decided to become more aware of what made me happy.
Yeah.
Did having an 8 to 10 month break off of training in an area that made me, you know, self-conscious and it was a little bit traumatic, that didn't support me at all. So I had to dig deep and find, okay, what does movement mean to me? How can that make me happy?
Okay. And that's going to be different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Completely. So when you said that, you know, you were going through that phase where you didn't train and you just weren't feeling great, did you ask for help? Did you seek help? Did you look for others? Because I think a lot of us, we find it really hard to take that step. And I'm sure you found it hard as well. But do you feel like that's what really helped you? And what did you do? Like, who did you reach out to? Because I'm sure there's people listening to this that are, you know, probably in the same boat as you. And maybe they're a little bit scared to reach out and ask for help. But obviously it's been such a big help for you.
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
Well, in my case anyways, I knew that, and what came up, and I'm sure comes up for a lot of people, is that I wasn't broken.
No.
I might have felt broken, but I wasn't broken. I just needed help.
Yeah.
I needed someone to talk to, a professional at that, but I needed to accept. And, you know, that acceptance was tough. At first, I thought I was this strong, confident woman that I was like, yeah, I support a psychologist. I support, you know, therapy. I never thought it was a taboo thing.
No.
But when it actually comes to yourself and realizing you've hit rock bottom, that's daunting. Yeah. But I knew, I dug deep and I knew that reaching out was the best thing I could do, because no struggle has to be taken alone either. And so at first I reached out to a sports psychologist because that was when I was suffering severe panic attacks. Yeah. And now that's another story for another day. Yeah. However, I needed to discover how I can actually get over those panic attacks whilst I was training, because that's where they were triggered. Wow. And then after, I'd finished bodybuilding, that's when I took the route of seeking a psychologist to help me with body image. Yeah. Because I had zero self-worth. I had zero confidence. And coming from someone that used to be the most confident person to now something that was a passion of mine has stripped that away. Yeah. I needed someone that could specifically help me with that. And aside from the mental health side of things, physically, I knew I wasn't okay. I knew something was off. And I'm a very intuitive person anyways. Yeah. However, you can just feel when something's not right with your health. Yes. So I sought a naturopath as well. And her, as well as my psychologist, they were just hand in hand.
Amazing.
Just incredible support, and made me realize, how beneficial actually seeking help is, because they can take the specifics that happen to you and actually, strip it back and understand, okay, this is why, and make it personal. It's not this, okay, this is your issue, this is the shoebox that you fit into, and this is the, the help that you need, or the medication you need, or whatever used to be the norm. Yeah. And now they stripped it back and made it personal for me to realize that I'm not broken. I've just got to find my self-love again. Yeah. And although it might have taken 2 years, I'm now at a point where my confidence is through the roof. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have my days. We're human,
all do. As we all do, yeah.
But with that self-awareness, I'm able to understand that, okay, if I'm having a day where I don't feel as confident, I know why. I know I can now actually analyze around me, okay, these are the things in my life that are not supporting my confidence. Let's figure out, okay, how can I move away from that and then bring upon an energy that is going to support me? Yeah. Amazing. And so I couldn't recommend seeking help enough. And just having that external source that isn't connected to your life to talk to, it's really powerful.
If it's heavy, you don't need to carry it on your own.
Exactly.
You know, we all have struggles. We all go through things in life that may be dark and painful, but there are so many resources out there that want to help you and want you to feel good. And I think, like you said, taking that first step is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah. And that's what I tell my clients when, when they come on board.
Yeah.
I sit there for a good, 5 minutes or so and just congratulate them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've done it. Like, well done. That's like that initial walking through the doors of those gyms.
Yeah.
It's the moment.
That weight off your shoulder. You're like, wow, I took the first step. What's next for me? You know,
exactly.
So you've got quite a big range of purely female clients. So tell us from your own experience, what are some of the most common limiting beliefs and barriers that you see, and how do you actually support women from getting over this and moving through it?
Well, there is definitely a few I do see, in having the beauty of working with a huge range of women from teenagers to, pushing 50 and 60.
Yeah.
I've seen a vast majority of what people are dealing with. And there's a few categories. And one, it comes down to how their experiences at a younger age has led them to have the same limiting beliefs through to their adulthood, and how that's actually shaped their lives.
Yeah.
And so let's take nutrition, for example. Sadly, yourself will be able to understand this when it comes to nutrition. There's so much information out there that it's just not
overwhelming,
confusing.
Yeah.
And so that's where, some of their limiting beliefs come from, is where they've tried every single thing under the sun, but it's not personalized.
No.
And so they feel like they're a failure. They feel like they're just, not good enough to be able to achieve the goals they want, because nothing has ever been tailored to them. So therefore, if I've tried everything generic and it's not working for me, therefore I don't deserve my goals. So that's a big one, the worthiness of actually allowing yourself to achieve the goal.
Yeah.
That also comes hand in hand with a lot of mothers I work with, when it comes down to allowing yourself to put yourself first.
Yeah.
That is a huge one. A lot of people, whether it be people pleasing, whether it be just your general schedule, whether it be a mother, whether it be a busy workload, just supporting your family, it comes down to people don't think they're worthy enough to put themselves first, or they don't have enough time to. The good old, I'm too busy for me.
Yeah.
No one's ever too busy for themselves. The fact is, you don't see your health as a priority, if that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, it is a case-to-case basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the underlying factor, is people don't feel that they can they deserve that time to put towards their health, because they have to take care of others or their business or their partner or whatever it may be. But the thing I tell them is, if you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care and support others as well?
Yeah.
If that is your biggest worry, how do you expect that to happen?
Yeah. When you take care of yourself, everything else kind of falls into place, and you have more to give when your cup is full. So
exactly.
Yeah. What are some daily practices that we can all start doing that can help us to build on our confidence and maximize our potential? This is your thing. This is what you do. What are some everyday things, where that any woman can start with, What do you recommend?
The biggest thing that has been life-changing when it comes to self-awareness and focusing on your health, mentally and physically, has been journaling.
Yeah.
Just getting a book, a piece of paper, whatever it may be, and a pen, and whether it be just expressing your thoughts, whether it be, just getting like words to paper, it doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
Or if it's actually finding questions that are like bottled up in your mind and you need to get them out. So that's what I teach my clients, is along with fitness and nutrition, is the mindset side of things.
Of course.
How can you start to become more aware of your emotions and the stresses in your life? Because, there's a lot going on for us humans at the moment, and stress can be a huge factor in that. So if we can become more aware of what's going on in our mind and actually expressing it, like you said before, it becomes a weight off the shoulders. It becomes easier to deal with as well. So whether it be, for example, every single morning I sit down and I write my gratefuls.
Yeah, beautiful.
I write 5 things I'm grateful for because it takes the time. It's a form of meditation. It allows me to sit and be present. Whether it's being thankful for the cuddles I got from my puppy the night before, whether it's the fact that I got to have a dinner with my partner that I didn't used to when I was a bodybuilder, or something as simple as I got to walk in the sunshine, just something to allow yourself to be present and to actually take in the goodness of what is happening around you.
Yeah.
And relating to obviously my journey and my self-discovery of my confidence was I made myself write something I loved about myself every single day. And it could be something as simple as, I love my hair. I love the length that it's at, and I love the way that it flows over my shoulders. Something like that. It doesn't have to be, I love the shape of my hips, or I love, how my legs look. It doesn't have to be something that has originally, been a struggle for you. It's starting to take that step forwards to actually notice what you love about yourself.
Yeah. And I think also looking at it from a perspective of if you do have a body part that you don't love looking at, we've all got that. It's looking at it from a different perspective. Like if your legs are maybe an issue for you, writing down, I'm grateful for my legs because they allow me to walk around and get from place to place, and looking at it from a different perspective, I find is super helpful.
Exactly.
You gain that appreciation for something that maybe once upon a time you were like, oh, I don't love it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
And for me, during that journey, it was beginning to allow me to love the parts that I didn't love so much, because I finally, like you just said, I finally realized the value that added to my life.
Yeah.
The fact that I get to wake up every morning, I get to choose to focus on my health.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Not, I have to work out today. It's, I get the choice to work out today. And that's amazing.
What a blessing.
Yeah.
So before we finish today, I would love to know what one key lesson you have learned from your journey with health, fitness, and confidence that you could tell your younger self.
Oh, look, it probably comes down to 2 things for me, and they're pretty much both on the same realm. One is progress over perfection.
Yep.
For so long, especially in an industry where I had to strive for so-called perfection, because, I chose to stand up on a bodybuilding stage and become judged on, the physique I had. But it actually works for anything you choose to do. Yep. Instead of striving for perfection, that's a dead-end road, right? Because when we choose to progress and achieve a goal, that perfection, all of a sudden, because you've grown to get to the journey of achieving that goal where you want to be, you've then exceeded your expectations, you've pushed them forwards. So you're never actually going to achieve that perfection. So if you focus on the progress, and that's where it comes down to, learning to show up for yourself every single day, is the commitment and the courage to actually just doing one thing each day that allows you to progress forwards.
Beautiful.
And that comes down to a similar road as well, is focus on what you can control and don't focus on what you can't control. Another dead-end road.
Yeah.
Because, and that came down to my struggle with a fear of judgment as well. And I can't control what people think of me.
Absolutely not.
I can't control, what, how I perceive myself. I shouldn't have to worry about how that is perceived, because if I'm being authentic, that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
So focusing on what I can control, being my values and my happiness, that's all that matters. That external stuff doesn't matter anymore.
No. So where can we find more of you?
Well, on Instagram, Bridget _ Bennet.
Okay, 2 underscores.
Yep. And then on Facebook, you can find me at Bridget Bennet Health and Lifestyle Coaching, or my public group for women, which is the Powerful Women's System.
Amazing. Thank you so much for everything you have shared today. It's been amazing to hear your story. I had no idea about your struggles and everything you've went through, and it was so inspiring to hear all of that and how you came out of it and what you've learned and how you've reshaped your life. So well done. Like, that's so inspiring, so amazing. You should be so proud of yourself. And yeah, I'm super grateful that we got to speak about it today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great to, get it out in the open.
Yeah, that's
to know that it's okay to struggle and it's okay to put yourself first.
Well done. Amazing. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you have taken even just one piece of wisdom from this episode that you can apply to your life to help you grow and be a happier and healthier version of you. Please like, subscribe, and make sure to share us on your socials. Sending lots of love to all of you. Bye.